Okay, so I recorded this video previously, but for whatever reason I lost it. I had some technical difficulties, but anyway, we had just created an email list, which is basically a list of emails, basically kind of a contact list of emails. And if we want to take a look at that, we can go into contacts. This is just where we were at in the last video. And we created that welcome email test list, and it just has me on there now. And this is how I want you to set up your welcome email test list. And you can obviously, once it's past the testing phase and you have your design actually completed, then you can add me into, by coming up here, add contact, type in one contact, and then you can add an extra email to this list, and there'll be 2 people on this welcome email list, and we'll take out the test and out of the title. And I'll try and show you, I'll probably create a video just to kind of walk you through that process. But so we just got done making this welcome email test list. We'll go back to kind of the dashboard area. And since I lost that other video, you can't really see the same thing that you guys see. We can't really see it. Basically down here it says verify your email. It should say that for you guys. That would be the next step, is to verify your email. So I can't quite remember every single process, but it's pretty simple. You would click here, verify your email, then you would go back into your email, and it basically, you get an email from Constant Contact, and then you would just click here, and that would basically take you, after clicking, it would take you into Constant Contact, and it would basically tell you that you verified your email. And then it would, now this button basically just says intuitive reporting. So hopefully you guys can, next step, verify the email after we created that list. And then the next step would be to actually create the email. But we're actually going to go into campaigns first, because we want to create a welcome email campaign. We don't want to just create a singular email necessarily. Of course, to create a campaign, you have to start by creating the email, which is the actual design process, basically, where you actually create the design. They provide you with templates if you want to use them. Some of them are, for specific types of emails, like a newsletter email or a basic announcement. Here's a blank template, so you can actually start with a blank one if you prefer to do it that way. This one has kind of reviews on it. And there's actually some welcome emails in here already, like B2B welcome, this one here. So there's some that are already in here, but I'm going to be giving you guys something to kind of emulate, a design to emulate. So you're not just going to be coming in here and using a template, you're going to be actually customizing it a lot more, hopefully, to get... I'm actually going to go with this one, though, I think, for my welcome email, this template here. So this is actually kind of a drag and drop editor. It's pretty easy to use. So let's see here. We can click on things, we can replace this, we can link it to something, we can trash it, center it, left align, right align, that kind of thing. But I'm actually going to be trying to emulate a different design here, something similar to this. And I'm going to be providing each of you with a welcome email to kind of emulate. So you can always work with a template still, like I am going to, but you just have to replace everything to try and make it look like the email that I provide you with. It doesn't have to be exact, but it has to be, basically pretty close to what I provide you with. Okay, so moving on. This is what I'm going to be trying to emulate. I actually have gone on Google and I found this icon. So I'm going to probably have to start over because I did this in the last video, but so I just clicked it, dragged it down over here. You can see I already have it here. Illustrator. So I'll just do File, New. So I'm using separate software here to create graphics, which you can use Photoshop, you can use any of the programs that you guys enjoy using. I encourage you to try to use Photoshop or Illustrator, but I know some of you haven't taken Graphic Design 231 yet, so it's kind of hard for me to require you to do that when you haven't, if you haven't taken that class yet. But so I'm just going to go with the letter size, pretty basic, 8.5 by 11 inches. If I need to change, sometimes it's on points or picas. I put it on inches here. We can open up this little tab if it's not already open. Make sure. Probably should be an RGB color. It can be in high resolution. It's fine. So we'll create that, and then I'm going to do a file place to bring that image of that envelope that I put on my desktop. To bring that in. I'm just going to sort these by date added so that it comes to the top. Today at 3:02. I'm going to place that in. So here it is in Illustrator, and it's just a flat image. I can't actually grab individual shapes at this stage, but I can do a quick image trace up here. If you don't see this in Illustrator, just go here and make sure you're on Essentials Classic, and that will bring it up here. So I'm going to do like 6 color trace. It should take care of it. And then this is a 2-part process. We actually have to push, don't forget to push expand. And then once we do that, we can kind of zoom in here and we can see that there's actual anchor points. So this created little shapes that we can now fill in with different colors. I can change all the colors of all the different shapes. And you can see all the little blue anchor points here. And if you hover over them, it says anchor. Sorry. So if we grab the white arrow tool, we can actually, it brought in a white background with the JPEG that we brought in. So we'll just select that with the white arrow tool and push delete. And now I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different shapes in here for the envelope. And I can kind of go through and try and find a font that I like. Obviously, this is not exactly the same as the Kate Spade welcome email, but it's not bad. I think what I'm going to do is I might simplify it a little bit. I'm not going to delete any shapes, but I will use the eyedropper tool. So I select it with my direct selection tool, which is the white arrow tool. I'm going to grab this white shape and I'm going to change it to be the same color as this shape is by using the eyedropper tool. So I'll make sure I have the shape that I want to change the color of selected, and I'm going to sample from this shape with the eyedropper tool, and that'll fill in that shape with that color. And I'm actually going to push shift, and I'm going to select both of these shapes, and I'm going to combine them using the Pathfinder tool. If you don't have the Pathfinder tool open, you can go to Window, Pathfinder. And of course, you guys don't have to use this program. I'm just showing you what's possible here. So I created, a shape here. I think I might actually just make this all these colors, because that's what the Kate Spade one looks like that I'm trying to emulate. So I suppose I might leave this yellow just to kind of, I don't know, we'll see what it looks like. But basically I'll put an outline. I'm going to select all of these. I can click and drag to select all of them. And then I'm going to actually change this color to like kind of a pink color, basically. I think I'll just make it 100% magenta and take out all of the cyan. Cyan's blue, magenta is kind of the... So we'll just do okay. And so that's pretty close to the colors anyway. Maybe I will make it all the same. Let's see. No, actually I won't. I might make this a different color though. I might I don't know. I'll click and drag again. You can't really see. There we go. So this has a yellow outline on it. The pink shape does. It's kind of hard to see. And there's kind of a weird thing going on right in the middle of it that's kind of goofing me up a little bit. If I zoom way in, it does look a little Weird. I don't know why there's a curve here, but I can just grab the handle on this anchor point, or I can use the pen tool and delete anchor point, and I can just delete one of these actually both of these maybe, I don't know. I don't want to make a huge mess, but it just seems like there's kind of some extra stuff in here that maybe doesn't need to be in there. It seems like this should just be a completely straight line, but it's not. Anyway, that doesn't look too bad. Pretty close to what I was wanting. So, and then I'll add in the text now. So thank you. So I just grabbed the text tool, I click and drag, it automatically filled it in with Latin. But I can just highlight all that text and then just put thank you. I guess maybe I'll just try and leave it all lowercase. So make sure that properties panel is open. If it's not, go into Windows, properties, and you will see this will pop up, its own little window here. I'll kind of center this a little bit more. I have a lot of things open, but we can kind of click and drag these things around and move them around if we need to. I don't think I need this open. Anyway, try and clean this up a little, clean up this workspace maybe just a little bit, because it's, like I said, it's pretty messy. I don't want this or this open. Okay, so back to properties, because that's kind of the main panel that we want to be using, because it has a little bit of everything. It changes for whatever we have clicked on, basically. It'll change. So if I go back to the text tool and click on highlight my text, character will come up in the properties panel, which is nice. But it's kind of like your one-stop shop for everything. So I want to make it bigger, so it's at 12 right now. I'm probably just going to size it up to, I don't know, I'll just keep going until maybe something like that. And then I can kind of go down my list and see if there's anything in here font-wise that I like. I had this one on my last one, but I've kind of changed it since then. I've been using this one quite a bit. Blackjack is kind of a good one. Boy, I could spend a lot of time on fonts here. Let me try and find one. Okay, so I did find one that I liked. It's called Salima, I think. I increased the font size a little bit too, to 98. I'm gonna put this on 2 lines, because the one that I'm emulating is on 2 lines. It's not exact, obviously, but it's close. So if I kind of click and highlight everything, I can center it. And then I can create, this is the leading. So leading is the space in between lines of text, basically. Kerning is actually the space in between individual letters, but we want to adjust the leading. So we will kind of use this arrow key. You can also manually enter it in by highlighting, or you can use this drop down. A lot of times I just use the arrows. And then the text is still black. I want to make it white, so obviously make sure that's highlighted. Come over here. This is actually the fill color of anything we might have selected or highlighted. Double click that, and then I can just click up in here to get white, basically. No matter where you put the slider, it's going to be white because it's in the white section. This will be the purest form of the color. This will be the purest form of the color with black added gradually, and then grays added to make the color duller. And then you use this slider to actually change the individual color. But since I'm on white, it's 0, 0, 0, 0. There's no color involved. Push OK. And we basically have a pretty decent graphic for this welcome email, basically. Let's take a look at see. Oh, this one has a period on it, so I guess I'll add that. Text. Okay, I'll add that period in, and then we'll be done with this video. And we'll start kind of constructing our email in Constant Contact. But I'm just trying to show you that you can use other softwares to create graphics for your email.